A very good morning, students. Our session of financial institutions and market. Now, as far as our last session was concerned, in our previous session, we already discussed the concept, or we can say that the history, objectives, and operations of IDBI. Now, today, we are going to discuss the new financial institutions, that is ICICI. Now, the full form of ICICI is Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India. That is the full name of ICICI. Now, let's see the history of ICICI. ICICI was formed in 1955 at the initiative of the World Bank. So, with the help of World Bank, there was an establishment of ICICI in Indian market. The Government of India and the representative of Indian industries for providing medium and long-term project financing of Indian industry. Now, main purpose of ICICI, that is to provide long-term and medium-term project finance to the different Indian industries. In 1990, ICICI transforms its business from a development financial institutions to a diversified financial services group, and thus started offering not only project finance but also a wide variety of products and services, both directly and through a member of subsidiaries and affiliates like ICICI Bank. So now in the year of establishment, that is in the year 1955, the working area of ICICI was totally limited, that is to provide finance to different industries. But later on, that is in 1990, ICICI provides many services to the consumers, and with the help of that services, now they provide the services of banking to the retail customers. So now for that reason, we are seeing ICICI as a bank. But make sure, basically ICICI was a financial institutions, and later on it serves its function to the general customers, and they are providing services to each and every area. In the year 2002, merger of Prudential Financial Services Limited and ICICI Capital Services Limited with ICICI Bank took place. So, in 2002, there was a merger between ICICI Capital and Prudential Life Services, and they both are merged in ICICI Bank itself. Then after, consequent upon this merger, the ICICI Group's financing and banking operations, both wholesale and retail. Wholesale means they are providing maximum finance with the maximum capital, and they are providing retail finance to the routine customers. They have been integrated into a single entity. So now there is only a one place through which we are getting the services of wholesale and retail, and that place is ICICI Bank itself. So it's all about its history. Now let's discuss the objectives of ICICI. The first objective is to help in creation, development and modernization of business enterprise in the non-public sector. Basically, the main purpose of ICICI, that is to provide maximum finance to those organizations who are working in this kind of non-public sector, means who are working privately. Then after, the second objective is to encourage and promote the involvement of external and internal capital sources in such business enterprise. Now main purpose of ICICI is to provide direct or indirect capital to different types of business. That is, again, direct and indirect is a kind of external and internal finance. Then after third one, to encourage private ownership of industrial investment and to assist in the expansion of market. Again, the purpose is about providing finance to different organizations. Fourth one, that is to make equipment finance available. And fifth one, that is to extend financial support for the rehabilitation of industrial units. ICICI also provide maximum funds or maximum finance to those organizations who are financially weak, and the main purpose to provide finance for the purpose of rehabilitations. So basically that was the objectives of ICICI. Now let's see the functions of it. The functions of ICICI is the first one, that is to provide finance in the form of long-term and medium-term loans, as we already know that. Second, it sponsors and underwrites new issues of shares and other security. So again, ICICI work as a merchant banker. Third one, it guarantees loan from other private investment sources. Yes, ICICI play a role of guarantors. Then after fourth one, it makes funds available for reinvestment by revolving investment as rapidly as possible. Now here ICICI provides funds to those industries in which they requires fund at the maximum level. And again another objective is ICICI provides advisory services, and specifically project advisory services to private sector companies in the pre-investment stages on the relevant matter like government policies and procedures, feasibility studies and joint venture research. Again, ICICI provides advisory services to the government, both central and state government, on the basis of their project advisory services. Now let's see the modus operandi, that is operations of ICICI. Again, it is easy one. The first one, that is, it provides a facility of project finance. It is provided to industries for the cost of establishment, modernization and expansion of manufacturing and processing activities in the form of rupee and foreign currency loans. Underwriting and subscription of securities issued by such firms. The objective of providing rupee loan is to facilitate the purchase of equipment and machinery, construction and preliminary expenses, whereas foreign currency loans are given to avail the important capital equipment. Then after second one is leasing. Leasing assistance is provided for computerization, replacement, modernization, equipment of energy conversion, export orientation and population control. And the pollution control. And third one, that is project advisory services. This service is provided to government, private and public sector companies and give advice to the government on any policy matters and to private sectors as well as to the public sectors. So that's all about the financial institutions, the developed financial institutions in Indian market. Now let's see the specialized financial institutions. Basically there are three specialized financial institutions in Indian market. Under that, the first one is Exim Bank. The full form of Exim Bank is, we already know that it is Export Import Bank. EX stands for export and IM stands for import. Now let's see the history of Exim Bank. It was established by the Act of Parliament, the Export-Import Bank of India Act 1981, as a public sector financial institutions. Exim Bank was owned and governed by Government of India. The main purpose of Exim Bank is to provide finance, facilitate and promote foreign trade in India. To finance export of consultancy and related services, extend help to Indian joint ventures in the third countries. Undertake export market studies. Then after financial export oriented industries and provide international merchant banking services to different industries. The financial sources of Exim Bank are bonds, certificate of deposits, term deposits, commercial papers, and foreign currency bonds, notes, and borrowings. Then after, let's see the objectives of Exim Bank. The main objective of Exim Bank is to finance, facilitate and promote Indian foreign trade. Then after, to arrange for competitive financing at various stages of the export cycle and thereby create export capability. And the last objective is to offer a comprehensive range of products and services to a target set of externally oriented companies so as to develop commercial viable relation with them. Again, it is also related with the financial services which is provided by Exim Bank. Now let's see the vision of Exim Bank. To offer best-in-case services to their customers in their globalization efforts through creating an environment for our people that reward excellence, initiative and involvement.